with Vicki Lestrange. Boss, 9 black cats have arrived at the estate, each one carrying a bundle of frankincense in its teeth. I think Vicki is on her way again. Oh yes, here she comes, emerging from the creeping fog as usual. Good evening, boss. Forgive me for not calling earlier in the day. I saw a raven and lost track of time. I quite enjoyed our last outing. My only regret that was did not manage to summon my grandfather's spirit. But it's a triple blood moon tonight, a time when the veil is thinnest and spirits walk among us. I hope that we might try again. I'll tell you where else the veil is thinnest, by innuendo. No, let's get wrist deep in some eldritch rituals. Oh, this would be just the beginning, if you do it properly. We'd best get going. My carriage is outside, and the cabin, as you recall, is quite far. Would you care for a drop of potentially lethal hallucinogenic potion to pass the time on our journey? You've been holding out on me this whole time? Not intentionally, I wasn't sure you were the type. Here. Hands you a vial of inky black fluid that smells of lemon and gunpowder. It sounds as if it wants to tell you a secret. Carefully sniff it. You take a smell. Your nose hairs fall out. Oh, I should mention the fumes are quite potent on their own. You probably don't need to take a dose anymore. Let me know how it is. I've never tried it myself. I don't think his carriage, which is pretty impressive for someone whose arms and legs are melting. It turns out the carriage is jam-packed with occult nonsense. It is not an ideal place to be contending with the rapid dissolution of yourself. It doesn't help when you realise that the silver bell hanging from the ceiling is actually your dentist. Wow, how did you mistake your dentist for a bell? Honestly, he looks a lot more like your brother, a butler. Hey there, boss. Great to see you. And your teeth. Speaking of teeth, can I borrow a few just for a couple of days? I'm not asking for me. It's for a spider I know. Well, you're the medical professional. Well, this is Victorian time, so a dentist is less a medical professional and more a butcher with money. So true. But you know what I say? Don't negotiate against yourself. Let's have those teeth. Always eager to please, you go on a magical journey inside your own mouth that only stops when... boss, we're here. You sober up a bit before entering the cabin. The cabin isn't quite so shocking this time round, nor is the fact that Vicki has already covered the dining table in bloody satanic sigils. Make yourself at home. I'll go get the robes and the animal sacrifice. Be dismissed before you can say anything. She returns moments later with 2 jet black robes and a pair of obsidian knives, and an adorable sleeping bunny rabbit. She places the bunny rabbit in the centre of the table and graciously passes you a knife. I guess if this rabbit didn't want to get sacrificed, it shouldn't have gone to sleep. Well, it went to sleep because I fed it poisonous herbs, but your point stands. Quickly, before the moon sets. You muster the courage, and sacrifice complete, you sit down across from Vicki to begin the seance. Well, who should we summon? Gave us some of your grandpa, didn't we? You're quite right. Thank you again for doing this with me. Vicki takes her hands and closes her eyes. Grandpa Mephisto, with this ritual sacrifice, we invite you to join us in our circle. Our hearts are open to you. Come to us. The room turns deathly cold. A breeze howls outside. Then all sound ceases, as if your head is buried in cotton wool. All you can hear is Vicki, breathing. Grandpa, is that you? You think you hear a voice on the wind. Of course it's me, you little harlot. Who do you think you were summoning? Well, it's hard to be sure these days. Maybe the way you summon, you'd call that a sacrifice. In my day, we used whole children. That's frowned on these days, Grandpa. How are you? I'll tell you what I found on Victoria. I found that outfit. What the hell are you wearing? I was just trying to... Just trying to what? Embarrass me to double death? Your summoning spell barely even worked, by the way. I just dropped in to tell you what a disappointment you're being. Ooh, harsh. The candle's in the room warms and sound returns. Vicki lies back in her seat, looking exhausted and miserable. Want to try summoning someone else? Yes, I'd rather not end up on a bad note. Who should we summon now? Is there anyone else you've lost who you'd like to reconnect with? Why, yes, actually. One of my cats, Cornelius, passed away 3 summers ago. I've never tried summoning an animal before, but Cornelius had such a strong personality. It's worth a try. Dearest Cornelius, please grace us with your majestic feline presence. Let my body be your vessel, your voice, my voice, your voice. You are welcome here. Lady suddenly sits bolt upright, her eyes go wide, and she looks at you as if you are a stranger. Vicki very deliberately reaches out and knocks over a candle on the table. The rope begins to catch fire. Meanwhile, Vicki gets up, goes to the bookshelf, and knocks the books off of it one by one. Things seem to be getting out of hand. You should probably put out the fire. Go over and throw on the fire. Puts out the fire, but some of it gets on Vicki too. Hiss! She leaps on you, clawing and hissing. You suffer several serious scratches before you get her calmed down. Oh goodness, what happened? Why are you all these books on the floor? Why am I straddling you? You explain as courteously as possible. Ah, yes, I suppose dear Cornelius did have a habit of destructive leaning. Oh, how I miss him, though I don't miss how often I had to rebuild my estate when he was around. We should probably get this cleaned up before continuing, shouldn't we? Get everything back more or less how it was and return to the estate. Who should we summon now? Is there any historical theory you'd like to meet? Well, most people don't know about me, because my other eccentricities tend to take center stage. But I fancy myself a bit of a painter. I've always dreamed of meeting Michelangelo. We could summon him. Join hands with me, I'll try. Oh, Michelangelo, Lord of Painters, we welcome you into this space so that you might share your noble wisdom. Vicki's voice trails off and a strange look enters her eyes. Pace, caso sono qui? He examines her own body with a shock and alarm. Sono una donna adesso. Mi chiedo come sono le mie tette. You sound like silently undress herself. Something's not right. Rebuca and flawless Italian. Good thing you spent several years volunteering in a home of Italian perverts. You calmly but forcibly chastise the ghost of Michelangelo for his bad behaviour. Vicki seems crestfallen. Mi dispiace. Vado via ora. With some of the blood from the ritual, she finger paints an I'm sorry card on a piece of vellum. It's the most beautiful thing you've ever seen. Then the strange look leaves her eyes and her shoulders slump. Well, that was an experience. Who should we summon now? Maybe we should call it night. You know, somberly removing her robe. I suppose you're right. Let's not push our luck. The good news is the ritual was a success. The problem is, as usual, the people are horrible. Also cats. They are horrible in an endearing way. I can't thank you enough for accompanying me on my spiritual voyage. I can count on one hand the number of people who will be willing to indulge me this far. And it's not one of my hands, it's a fingerless hand I bought from a travelling hand salesman. I was thinking that if you were interested, we might spend the night here together. Not in a carnal way, I'm only suggesting some light cuddling while discussing the dark arts in whispered tones. Oh, now that does sound adorable. Interested? Oh, hell yes. Blasphemous innuendo, my favourite. Care to accompany me to the spider room? Lead the way! Oh, marvellous, the spiders are so anxious to meet you. They are indeed. You spend the night in a warm embrace of several thousand curious spiders. As their surging legs lull you to sleep, you can't help but wonder, could it all have been real? Or was it a side effect of those drugs you took like an idiot? You drift off to sleep, questions unanswered, and dreams of black cats and bunny rabbits, spiders and corkscrews. Ooh. Okay, no. That one I like.